We are with a very important person of Israel. He had been the national security advisor and not once, but has served true prime minister of the country. And he is going to lay threadbare the nuts and bolts of the current situation and how it's going to affect the things for not only Israel, for the world. And we are with Mr. Eyal Hulata, the former national security advisor who served under true prime minister. Thanks for talking to us, Mr.
Thank you. I'm very happy to be on Times of India.
How do you describe the current situation? Because it was thought that it won't stretch for long.
So we're in a campaign now with in a war with Iran. Several things are unique about it. I think the first one is that this is not just Israel at war with Iran. This is the United States and Israel at war with Iran. This is a decision made in Washington by President Trump, of course, with Prime Minister Netanyahu and all of us in it. We've just been in a 12-day war with Iran in June of last year. The focus then was on the nuclear program and missile program, but now the aim of this campaign is to weaken the regime as a whole, to create, I hope, conditions for the people of Iran who have been massacred just in January 2 months ago, in dozens of thousands of them massacred in the streets, perhaps to create condition for a different Iran as they would want it. So this war is different in many respects, but as you say, it is taking longer. I mean, this is day 19 of the war, already longer than the 12-day war we had in June.
So do you think there was wrong analysis done, or there was a miscalculation as far as initiating the war was?
So I'm not sure that this is a miscalculation. I think that, like in other circumstances, unfortunately, we tend, all of us, not to take our enemies seriously enough. I mean, I guess there was a thinking in Washington and Jerusalem that after this first strong strike that we took Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei out in the first hour of the attack, and so many of their military commanders and their security chiefs, but also political echelon, including Ali Larijani, the acting person last night. I guess people thought that Iran will capitulate fast. Unfortunately, our enemies do not capitulate fast. Hamas did not capitulate, Hezbollah isn't capitulating, and of course Iran, that is like the head of the octopus of all of this. They have no intention of just giving up and surrendering. They're fighting for their lives. And this is why this is stretching longer. And Iran understood, I think overall this will be a strategic mistake, but at the moment that this, because this is a war with Israel and Iran, not just with us, that they retaliate, not just at Israel, but all over the Middle East. They've been firing at all of the countries around them, all of the GCC. They've closed the Strait of Hormuz. This is a ramification for so many countries, including India, I know. Iran has decided to make this into a regional conflict, and this will extend it longer. I think President Trump cannot end this war when it seems like he has given away. So until he solves the Strait of Hormuz issue, it will be hard to end this, and this can take some time.
And do you think ramifications at the international level also? Because lots of issues which are being now being talked, they were not initially being talked about. So, and lots of other countries, they have not, initiated any help or support in this region.
So I think that the major global ramification is, of course, the oil market. Iran has decided to use this, I will say, ultimate weapon. Short of weapon of mass destruction, this is their ultimate weapon. Closing the Strait of Hormuz impacts everyone. Impacts India, impacts China, impacts the export from Saudi Arabia, the Emirates, Qatar, and all of the countries around. And I would assume that this already, I'm sure, has an effect. I mean, I'm talking to the Indian audience here. I would expect that you feel this already, and this is felt in other places. I speak to colleagues and partners in Europe, and they are worried that Russia has been given waivers to export oil now to try to balance and mitigate the rise in the oil prices. This is a good thing for the oil prices, but they, of course, are worried that this gives Russia tailwind in the war in Ukraine. So this already has global implications. I want to hope that this will be short-term, in the sense that this war, I hope, it must end with a victory of the free world, and not with the blackmail of an autocratic regime such as the Islamic Republic of Iran. And once this happens, I hope that things will come back to normal very fast indeed. There are reservoirs, there are other supplies of oil, but this is a serious surge in prices and implication, of course.
You have been involved into policy shaping, also to giving a direction to the national security policies of this country. Do you think it encompasses right now, or there will be some kind of a change in the near future, the way the war has shaped now?
So first, I think it's important to say that for the Israeli context, Iran is not a political issue. Everything is political in the world right now. And you look in the United States and you see the people who support Trump support his war, the people who do not support Trump do not support this war. You're here in Israel, you're with us at the moment. There is wide support for this war because Israel, at time of need, we all consolidate together regardless of the political affiliation. I was National Security Advisor of a different government of Netanyahu. I was National Security Advisor to Prime Minister Bennett and to Prime Minister Lapid. But still, you hear me talk about this and I can understand fully why this is necessary and what needs to happen. We're not confused with politics as it comes to our national security. Most of us are not confused when it comes to national security. And it's important to say, for us, Iran is a real threat and danger. If Iran would have been able to get nuclear weapon of mass destruction, this would be existential for us. We cannot just wait to see when our enemies do this. Israel is very small. I'm talking to a country of almost 1.5 billion people, one of the largest geographies in the world. India, a strong, powerful country. Israel has a strong economy, but we're small. And these kind of threats are serious to us and could become existential. So I think that there will be the support here for this. I want to see this come through. I want to see the Iranians continue to be degraded with their capabilities. I want them not to be able to renew their missile program, their nuclear program, of course. And I want to also extend and hope for the Iranian people, that 80% of them do not support this regime, that again protests in large masses just 2 months ago before this war started. I hope we can give the Iranian people the conditions to live with rights the way I think all peoples around the globe needs, and definitely the Iranians deserve it.
Mr. Hulata, just for a larger audience, how do you analyze, because you have been dealing with such policies, national security issues and all, where do you think it's shaping? Where will it end?
So I think this war eventually will end in an agreement or some kind of resolution between the Americans and the Iranians. I'm not sure that the regime will fall before the war ends. People cannot go to the streets while there are bombs falling in Tehran in the middle of the night, naturally. So this will be in phases. And I think that once there is a sufficient solution for the Strait of Hormuz that can allow for the flow of oil tankers, then this war will probably come to a halt, and the regime, of what's left of him, will have some kind of relief for a while. But I expect them to have serious problems on the long run. Iran is weak militarily, weak economically. Their social fabric is torn, and now they're also isolated from all the countries around them. I mean, I'm sure that even India will think twice before consuming Iranian oil again after everything that has happened, seeing this aggression. Some countries in the Gulf that may have hedged with Iran because they were fearful of an attack, well, now they've suffered the attack and they survive it. Iran cannot destroy any of the countries around them. Even here, when they fire a huge amount of missiles, the damage is minimal. We've had 21 casualties so far. Every casualty matters. Every one of them, including 2 more elderly people in their 70s who died last night because they couldn't get to a shelter on time. But this is not crippling Israel. This is something that we need to be able to absorb as we fight to make sure that Iran cannot become an existential threat to us.
So, Mr. Eyal Hulata, who had been National Security Advisor to 2 Prime Ministers, he says that there had been certain miscalculations or other misreadings that this war would end soon, which is not happening. But yes, definitely he says that the regime in Iran will get weakened, but it will not be out. There would be larger ramifications for the world, and lessons will be out from here. With Vijay Sachin Rawat, Mayank Singh, Tel Aviv. Times Now.